Okay, guys, we're going live here very shortly. Marie and I, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
There we go. I was rushing around the last minute. You know the problems we had yesterday with my microphone. Was it
right?
Yesterday? I guess it was yesterday. And it was the settings in StreamYard for whatever reason. I mean, who knows why it arbitrarily changes. I don't even know. As I was logging in, I was over here. Did you see me waving at you and all this and that?
No.
Wow. Because we had the split screen just like we do now. And I was over here waving and screaming and yelling. And you were looking at the screen. And I thought, okay, it's obvious she doesn't see me.
Well, I might have been on a different site looking at something else, but hey, you know what? Thank God it's Friday. Your microphone's working today. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah. Well, shoot, if I'd have known that, I'd have got up on the table with my G-string and danced around.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Heck, I'd pass on that one. But at least you got to say something to make us laugh with all the craziness that's going on in the world. And with our own freaking software, which is, makes me want to pull my hair out. Well, everybody, how you doing? Today is Friday, November 6th. It is currently 11:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Miss Marie, I'm sticking my arm up. I have a big, huge pillow over here. And I have to stick my arm up like this in order to break the muscle atrophy, I guess you would call it. I don't know. It's very painful, because the muscles are used to doing this. And when you start doing that again, the resistance and the pain that comes with that. Ooh, girl.
You got some physical therapy going on or what?
No, this is on our own. It's something that I've been doing because physical therapy is coming. And, it's not, not easy. So I'm sitting here smiling, but
is that smiling or grimacing?
Anyway, today it's Freelance Friday. As always, we talk about all things, as you can tell, all things good, bad, and ugly about the network marketing industry, but also about life itself. And Miss Marie, I set up our main page, and everything's ready to go on the main page. I made the video and the audio this morning, believe it or not.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, you and I had created it before, but here's what happened. A couple of things. It expanded too much into too much detail about that particular subject. And it's not to rob people of detail. It's just that you and I really did a deep dive, and we don't need to do that, right? Additionally, on top of that, we kind of veered off a little bit on the subjects that were related to that, which was really irrelevant for them. And it was too long, an hour long, right? So the thing is, I said, okay, this is not going to. Excuse me.
Bless you.
That was a big sneeze. That came out of nowhere from the bottom of my toes. All right. So anyway, the point is that I was able to do that this morning and extract the audio out of it. And doing that allowed me to finish off the last product we had on our main page where people land, TheMLM-solution.net. We have 3 gifts that we give away. You realize that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on one moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we give away all 3. I was all for giving away 1, but you are far more generous than I am. You're like, let's give away 3. Oh, okay.
Well, here they are. just so you know, guys, here's what we're giving away on the front page. And I understand where Miss Marie's coming from, but hey, you got to give above and beyond. You know, we're always talking about that we give more value than what we ask for in return. And I've always have experienced that life rewards that greatly. Now, that's not the reason why I do it. I love helping people. That's the reason why I do it. Okay. And I love making sure that I bring my best foot forward. Oh, you did that. Good. I was getting ready to do that too. It's Freelance Friday. And episode number 26, guys, believe it or not, episode 26. Let's correct that. I meant to do that earlier. I wonder why I didn't do that. Okay, there we go. So episode number 26. And if you get back to it, here's what, nope, not that. Where is it? I just looked at it. Oh, right there. Okay, there's one of the free gifts right there. 5 simple steps to networking success. It has an audio and it has a video and the ebook. You're not going to get that information anywhere else. It talks about the 5 basic steps it takes to make this business go. Okay, 5 simple steps. That's all it is. And if you get that document and if you adapt those 5 simple steps into your business building process, you'll be amazed at the impact it'll have. Now, it's going to take a little bit. It's no different than me sitting here doing, if you notice, I took my arm down. It was so painful. I couldn't concentrate. And I may get up during the show and block myself out where you can take over. I go get a pain pill because I got to do this. I can't not do this. And
well, on the 5 simple steps, the one thing I want to toss in there is if you have been listening to our podcast or watching us for any length of time, I think just about every single episode, if not a high percentage of them, we mention the 5 simple steps. We may not go into detail on it. So here's your opportunity to find out exactly what it is we're talking about every time we go the 5 simple steps.
Yes. And the thing is, Miss Marie, a lot of times the books and stuff, like the videos this morning, they really expand on, they keep the basic focus, the basic premise. Like the video I made this morning, I used a keynote presentation. I kept it simple. I kept it straightforward. And if you watch that, you completely understand the 5 simple steps. Now, I'll talk about that here in a moment. But the point is that that 5 simple steps book and document and everything right there, guys, that is talking about the steps themselves. What I did this morning was the Zero to Networking Hero. You remember that, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's see here. Now, this is kind of, as you can tell, we're kind of ad-libbing as we go here.
Hence Freelance Friday. It's what we do.
That's right. Just bear with me. I'm actually.
Well, while you're looking that up, Rob, I got to tell you, I saw something that really cracked me up yesterday. It was it was kind of 2020 encapsulated. It said,
really?
This too shall pass. It may pass like a kidney stone, but this too shall pass.
Well, it's pretty. Whoa, that brings a lot of images to your mind, doesn't it?
Well, I think that's almost a good summary for this year. So, just thought I'd share that. Yeah,
well, that's a good one. Let's see here. Well, anyway, I'll continue to look. You know what? I have all these documents on my computer, and you would think that I would not want for anything when I go to search for it, but I cannot find it. Anyway, there's also the Zero to Networking Hero document that you guys have access to, and I did that one this morning, and it's super powerful. This morning, I completed that for you guys because, now let's see here. The reason I did that is because what happens is in the Zero to Networking Hero 90 days or less, here's what happens. It goes and expands on the 5 simple steps. If you go there on the main page and you see the 5 simple steps download, it's got an audio and a video in the book. They're very focused on the 5 simple steps, okay? And that's it. But if you go to the Zero to Networking Hero and you say, well, what's the difference? The Zero to Networking Hero package that we're giving away there goes in greater depth about the 5 simple steps and also the peripheral things that you need to be aware of that go along with those 5 simple steps. And it literally tells you can go from zero, in other words, where you are today, point A, to point B, where you want to be in 90 days, by utilizing those 5 simple steps. And the Zero to Networking Hero goes into greater detail, as I said, with the related issues onto those 5 simple steps. It gives you a greater in-depth look at those 5 simple steps.
And we're giving both of those away.
Yes. Okay. You can download both of them free of charge. There's nothing there for you to buy. Okay. And I get what Miss Marie is saying. You know, she's like, no. And I don't mean she's being negative. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that she's saying, hey, you know what? One of those are more than enough, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, I kind of thought so, but like I said, you being the generous soul that you are.
Yeah. That's what you'll see when you go to, there it is. That's the cover of the book and of the content in that download, Zero to Networking Hero, how to go from zero to networking hero 90 days or less. And that goes into greater detail. Now you combine that with the 5 simple steps. If you download both of them at the same time, you are going to have a tremendous set of information that you can't get anyplace else. Miss Marie, we talk about it all the time. You flat out can get it, especially for free, right?
And you said you're giving away 3 things.
Here's the third
thing you're giving away.
Here's the third one. If I can find it, hold on one moment right here. The 4 critical mistakes and that most networkers make and how to overcome them. Okay. And what you say, what's the power of that? I hear it all the time. I was listening to Jim Rome this morning, you know, the CDs and stuff. And then on disc number 24, it's hard to believe I went through all 24 already, but on disc number 24, as they were closing out, they had all the speakers on stage. And one of the female of the groups, she said, well, I can, you know, because people getting ready to go home. And this was the 3rd day, the end of the event. And they wanted to touch on other subjects as people headed home. You know, they were talking about family and how, you know, this information could change their lives, you know, include your family. They were going in closing details. And then one lady said, look, the one thing that I can help you with on what to do once you leave here is to tell you what not to do. And it was really powerful how she put it. She said, don't do the following, you know, and what they did when they automatically did the what not to do's, what did it do? It got them down the path of what to do. Well, there's the power of that right there. That's the reason why I wrote that book. That's perfect. I wish that I had said it as eloquently as she did many times throughout the years. This book's been around a long time. It's been updated, as you can tell. That is not the way it looked originally, but that doesn't matter. But the point is, guys, you have with that book the ability to become a focused business building machine. You combine that with the Zero to Networking Hero, the 5 simple steps, and the 4 critical mistakes. And my gosh, Miss Marie, there's not anything that you can't accomplish with those documents right there.
Well, and here's the thing about the 4 critical mistakes is not only is it specifying what not to do, which automatically leads you down the path of what you should be doing, but you are talking about an incredible time saver in your business.
Yep.
Because what is part of the experience that we've gained over the years is we've gone through and we've made the mistakes. You don't have to make those same mistakes. Learn from our mistakes.
Yep.
Do it the right way right off the bat, and you can save save yourself tons of time and make money that much faster. So that one right there is invaluable, really. And again, that even just giving away that one for free, I think would have been the clincher. But you know.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So are we going to tell them where they can find these fantastic
yes, we
free items?
We certainly can. Hold on one moment. And right here
on our website, which is TheMLM-solution.net. That's right. TheMLM-solution.net. So you head over to that website, check it out. You'll find those 4 critical mistakes, Zero to Network Marketing Hero, the 5 simple steps, download them, grab them, because
Yeah.
I might have to be twisting Rob's arm about giving all these away for free for too
Yeah.
long. I don't know.
Well, there's no doubt the main page is going to change, just like I'm trying to just move past that point. But you know what? The thing is that every business changes, it evolves. And there's no doubt that front page is going to change. And all three of them probably may not. She's right. They may not be up there. We may just have one, and we may have none. So while they're up there, I would encourage you guys to go out there and get them. And this is not a ploy. Her and I did not talk about this. She had no idea that I was updating this. She had no idea what we were going to be talking about. We both got on here. She got on here before I did, and that's saying something. So the bottom line is we both were scrambling to get on here on time. So we and the thing is, Miss Marie, you and I do not talk. When we get done with this, we go about our lives. You got a busy life. I certainly do. I don't have time to be filly farting around talking, socializing. We talk about that, building a business, how not to filly fart around, go from one prospect to the other, to the next, have a full calendar. When you tell somebody I need to get off of here, I only got a half hour to spend with you, be honest about it. Be sincere.
We'll give you a little behind the scenes sneak peek here in how this operates, and this is not to say that we kind of fly by the seat of our pants. We do on Fridays, which is why we call it Freelance Friday. We don't actually plan a topic. Nope. We come on and it's whatever happens to be on our minds is what we end up talking about today. So here we are. But typically, the majority of our communication is via email. Our emails are very short and to the point. Most of it is basically picking out the topics and kind of planning what we're going to talk about at a very high level, Monday through Thursday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern. Those are the topics that we pick. Friday, it's always the Freelance Friday, and boom, here we are. So we pretty much come into this broadcast studio maybe 5 to 10 minutes before we go live. I think Rob's in here sometimes longer just because he has it up and he's doing other things in the background. But I come skating in at the last minute.
That's right. And you know why I come in early? To make sure nothing frickin' goes wrong. And it still does, and it aggravates the crap out of me.
and every once in a while, the little techno gremlins still bite us in the butt.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she's right, guys. That's what we do. Fortunately, because of our knowledge and experience in the industry, we don't have to rehearse. If we pick a subject between the two of us, we know vastly more than most. I would say probably 98% of the people out there. And, we don't rehearse anything. We don't talk about how far depth we're going. That's the reason why Marie plays such an important role, is that she'll rein me in when she thinks, hey, that he's getting too deep. This is not, for our audience, or, hey, he's getting off topic, and she'll bring me right back to the original topic. Because, as much as I love to help people, our topic is this lane, and I'll start going like that, because there's certain related topics that have to be brought to that straight and narrow path in order for you guys to have a clear understanding of the points we're making. But sometimes I get a little bit long-winded during that.
Well, and there's so much we can go into, right? Because it is all so intertwined that, honestly, if we wanted to, we could come on here and we could probably talk a straight 8-hour day.
Oh, I wouldn't.
And cover all sorts of material. And we're trying to stay in that 30 to 45 minute window, provide the tight content, and give it to you guys. And the other thing too is just from that behind the scenes perspective, I don't know if folks realize this, but Rob and I live nowhere near each other. We're about 1,400 miles apart in 2 time zones. So
you're right. I didn't realize it was 1,400 miles, but that makes sense. Yeah. It's
about. I'm rounding, but yeah.
Yeah. There's no doubt. And on top of that, as we said, like everybody else in this world, we're certainly no different. We're both very busy people. I have no idea what her age is. It's not important, but I'm 62, and I can promise you, the wife said the other day, hell, we have to go back to work to retire.
Well, as long as we don't have to go back to Walmart and,
Yeah.
bag groceries or anything like that, that is not a fun retirement.
No, that is not a fun retirement. And thank God that has not been the case. But the point is that we've certainly, you and I, we've had a lot of fun doing this. We're doing the right thing. We're helping people out. We're talking about the right subject matter. We try not to go too deep. It's by the seat of our pants in some degrees. In other words, you're getting the raw, unedited version. You're not getting anything rehearsed. And that should give you a lot of confidence in what we're sharing, because you can only have this instantaneous, unrehearsed podcast success only if you know what you're talking about. So obviously that bodes well for you guys listening to us, because there's so much garbage out there. There's so much noise. There's so much misleading information out there about how to do this industry that it's hard to decide which one works and which one doesn't. Who's telling the truth, who's not. And as we tell you all the time, the truth never changes. And yes, it gets boring sometimes, us talking about the same subject matter. For instance, the 5 simple steps, blah, 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 scale of ambition, threshold of profitability. We bring those up all the time. Why? Because that's how the business works. They're the basics, and the basics never change. It doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't matter what decade it is. And it doesn't matter what company you're with. The basics never change. It's all about creating volume. Okay. And if you're doing anything below 100 PV per month as a personal level, in other words, Rob's creating 100 PV per month by getting deodorant, toothpaste, toilet paper, whatever, nutrition, whatever. I'm creating over $100 points of PV per month. I'm doing that because I want my business to be profitable. And you say, well, what do you mean? Guys, most comp plans, if you look at the comp plans, and this is a teaching moment, it's not rehearsed, and we didn't talk about it, obviously, but look, if you look at most comp plans, and you say, okay, I don't want to leave any money on the table. Now, you're never going to be able, I won't say never, you're rarely going to be able to suck up every penny. In other words, you look at a comp plan, and it says, you'll get paid this if you do this, and you do this. And you start out on day one with the intention of sucking up every penny that comp plan will offer you. And you lay out a plan and you say, well, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to be this pin rank and blah, blah, blah. And that's awesome if you do that. And if you're, especially even more awesome if you're able to do it. Okay. I'm sure there's people over the last 60 years that have come close to maximizing every last penny of a comp plan. But the big money's at the end. The reason you don't worry about the money in the beginning is because if your goal is to maximize the opportunity, guess what? You're worried about the big money at the end. You don't want to leave a lot of that on the end table, okay? Meaning you're leaving dollars on the table, not pennies, okay? And that means instead of me getting paid $40,000 a month, I'm getting paid $25,000 a month because I was too lazy or did not, worse yet, did not know that I was supposed to do step B and I was doing step A. And because I was focused on step A, I didn't do step B, which left me $15,000 short on a monthly basis. That's a lot of money, right, Ms. Maria? That's $168,000 a year, I think, close. But the point is that I'm leaving that kind of money on the table because I didn't know about step B. That would just really upset me if I did not know that. Okay, so the point is, if I'm doing 100 PV personally, and I'm teaching my downline the importance of doing 100 PV personal volume per month themselves, and how it will maximize the money that this account plan is offering, and how it's going to improve their lifestyle and their financial situation. People will get it. They'll do the 100 PV because they understand the role it plays. Now, the thing is, what I'm saying here is this. If I don't do 100 PV and I just let my people say, well, do what you can afford, I'm leaving $40,000 on the table. Well, Rob, when you first start out, you're not making. No, you're not. But I told you, I'm going after the big money. By the time I get to that point, it's too late. I can't start it over. I can't go back and say, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Well, I'll need to be in 100 PV. I've left $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month. The bigger I get, the more money I'm leaving on the table each and every month. Tons of money. That's money I could use to pay my taxes, which leaves what? More money in my pocket. Okay. So I'm cutting my own income because I didn't want to use 100 PV per month and I didn't want to endorse it to my downline. I'm leaving thousands. Most people, Miss Marie, look at right there, right in front of them. Well, I don't want to do 100 PV per month. How can that do blah, 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 blah. I can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. And they get out there and they really start taking off. And then they realize, oh, shit, I can't maximize that comp plan because I'm not doing 100 PV. No comp plan says, hey, you must be, well, some do. I've seen some. But the thing is, most of the comp plans are written that if you create X amount of volume and X amount of leaders, and how are leaders created, Miss Marie? By volume, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if your goal is to create volume, because you understand that volume not only puts money in your pocket, but it creates pin rank advancement, and you get paid on pin rank advancement, why would you not want to use a number that's going to give you access to all those bonuses? Okay, that's why you do 100 PV per month. Okay, that's why it's important you start from day one. That's the reason why we talk about it. It's the reason why it never changes, because it's a basic. Right, Ms. Marie?
Absolutely. And you have to be familiar with the absolute basics of your comp plan. I have heard of some that have, like, say, the 100 PV level qualifies you through maybe the first 3 pin ranks in terms of maxing out your compensation. But after you hit a certain pin rank or level within the organization, they actually want you to bump your PV up to 150 a month.
That's right.
Maybe to max out the compensation. So again, these are the little things, the fundamental things you need to be aware of in your specific compensation plan to make sure not only you, but all the people within your organization are making the most money they possibly can based on the compensation plan that you're working with.
And I'll tell you this, guys, most comp plans are written with a 100 PV threshold in mind. I don't know anybody, I'm sure there are, but I don't know anybody. Nobody's ever told me this. But looking at all the comp plans when I was active, they all had, as she just stated, if you looked at the numbers and the way they played out, and they would say, okay, you know what? If you create this much volume, and you sit down and you say, okay, you divide the number of people that it would take to get there, and you say, okay, if I have 100 people doing 50 PV per month, would that get me to that pin rank advancement? No, it won't. Okay, what about 75? No, it won't. What about 100? Oh, 100 does it. Okay, it's not because it's a number Rob arbitrarily pull out of the air. When I was building a business, it took me a while to realize what was going on with these comp plans. And she stated some of them, and I've seen them too, where they clearly stated 100 PV or more at the minimum as you move up in the pin rank. Okay, why do the companies do that? Because it's money in their pocket. If you're making more money, if you were making zero from day one, and then within your first month or 6 weeks in the business, you're making $600 a month. Well, guess what? The company says, hey, they can afford an extra $50 a month. They're already doing 100 PV. You know what? If they want this next pin rank, and if they want to make these extra bonuses, we're going to ask them to step up and spend an extra $50 a month. Now, who wouldn't spend an extra $50 to continue to get $600 a month? Okay, that's a no-brainer. Yes, do it. Okay, so the companies get it. If the companies are promoting that, why wouldn't you promote that in your own business? And then also, this whole conversation started with the fact that the basics never change. That's the reason why we talk about the 100 PV. A little personal story, Miss Marie. I remember I was working with this big time leader when I was first getting the grasp with this industry, when I was really starting to understand, my eyes opened up. It's like a flower, just boom. And I really was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize the business worked like this. Why they don't tell people this? That's the reason why you and I are very unique, is that we are going out there. I always had a passion for telling people. And I always ask these leaders, why doesn't somebody develop a training system that will tell people, they'll figure it out? I mean, that was usually the response I get. You know what? They'll figure it out as they go along. If they really want it, they'll do it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you could have so many more successful people in this industry, and this industry could be so much healthier if people knew this information. Well, I remember one day when I was doing over 100 PV per month, and without really understanding at that moment what the 100 PV was about. I mean, I understood it was important, I got that, but I really didn't understand the overall impact, not just right there every day, but in the future, what kind of money it brought to you, And the thing is that you have to realize, guys, is that when you're using the right numbers in this business, and you've built this huge business as now a residual income machine, you could literally leverage all the bonuses and all the extra monies. And sometimes you're rewarded by the company, because you got to remember, they want you to stick around unless you're a pain in their butt or they're afraid you're going to leave. Okay. Then they'll find legal reasons to cut you out and keep your downline. We've talked about that, but let's stay positive here. The bottom line is, guys, is that if they want you to stick around, they may walk up to you in private without anybody else around and literally say, Rob, if you get a chance, won't you come to the company next week on the 10th? We got some things we want to discuss. We all good. We got an award for you. Nothing, okay, sure. And I come out there and they hand me $150,000 check just out of the blue. You know why? Because of the money that my business is bringing into their company. And they want to keep me around. They want to have a good relationship with me. And they're just like, you know what? You've been such a wonderful part of this company. We would not be what we are today. Here's just a little bonus on the side. Okay. And they'll do that more than once, many times. Okay. Now, let's just say you don't get that bonus. I'm sitting on the beach and I've pretty much maximized. Let's say I've taken advantage of the comp plan 85%. In other words, I've left 15% that I didn't care about, that I could have taken advantage of, but I was like, no, that's okay. I'm making enough money. Okay. So you got to realize that out of that 85%, probably 55 to 65% of that is residual income. The rest of it is bonuses, bonus checks you get on a regular basis, just like your residual income check. I always tell you, don't worry about the bonus. That's icing on the cake. And it's true. But how would you like to get that each and every month? An added surprise bonus. There it is. Boom. And sometimes that'll go up. Okay. Your residual income should pretty much stay the same if your leaders stick around too. It may dip every once in a while, but for the most part, it'll be consistent if you build it right. But here's the thing, the bonuses will go up every once in a while. Okay. And man, I tell you what, that is a wonderful thing to experience. But if you don't build the business right, if you don't use the numbers right, you'll never experience that. You'll never have that. Okay. And matter of fact, if you don't have the numbers right, if you're lucky enough to build a business, a big business, not utilizing the 100 PV personal volume, guess what? You're going to have downline leaders. They're going to say, you know what? I'm only making 55% of what I could be making. There's a new company over here. I now know how. Rob has taught me how to build this business. I built this. This is my business. He taught me. He's my teacher. He's my mentor. I respect him. But you know what? Now that I know what I'm doing, I can go over here and make 75% instead of 55% with this new company. Okay. And boom, they're gone. Why? Because you didn't teach them to use the 100 PV. Okay. And out of sheer determination, they were able to build a big business to some degree, but they're not making the type of money that they realize now, because their knowledge and their experience, they gained that knowledge and experience as they built the business, and they're smart, and they became aware. Hey, for instance, Randy Schroeder, I'll never forget. He told me, he said, Rob, I went in, I don't know if New Skin was his first company. It might've been that he joined, and within 3 months, he built it up to $10,000 a month. Now, he came from Wall Street. He was the head of one of the big firms there. I can't remember. Him and I were good friends. I can't remember, but I want to say Merrill Lynch. But anyway, the point is, he ran into network marketing. He saw the opportunities, like, I'm out of here. And within 3 months, he went up to $10,000 a month. But one thing, he was very sharp. And he also had a great sponsor. I think his name was Nathan Ricks, if I'm not mistaken, who's one of the big shots in New Skin. And he realized that he had capped it out, that New Skin's growth was over, and what was promoted to him was that, and he was honest, is that New Skin had been on an 8-9 year run. It was a hyper growth company. It was really still on the growth curve, and ended up being a 10-year run. But the point is, Randy at the time didn't know that it was at the tail end of that. But once he realized that, hey, $10,000 a month is all I'm going to make. I mean, it's capped out. The opportunity's over. Why? Because it's what we tell you, the basics, the timing of the company. New Skin was going from a late phase 1 to an early phase 2 company. Okay, which means that only 20% of the company's growth comes in phase 2, which means that only 20% of the wealth is created. He knew the numbers were against him. He might get lucky and be one of those 20%ers in phase 2, but why take that chance? Why waste his valuable time working with something that he knows? So he, being from Wall Street, he understands numbers, he understands odds, he understands the percentages. And so in his mind, it was like, okay, you know what? The odds are against me. I'm not going to be able to do this on the level that I want, and he's already, you got to realize he came from Wall Street. He was heading up a firm. You can imagine the type of money he was making and the lifestyle he has. Okay. And still has to this day. He wasn't willing to accept $10,000 a month. That was a drop in the bucket compared to what he was making. And that was an insult. Okay. Now he didn't blame anybody. That wasn't what he did. He just said, all right, you know what? I get it. And so he went out and found another company, joined Rexall, and he became number 6 or number 5 in that company in earnings within the first 18 months. Okay. And he focused on, guess what? The cholesterol product. Why? And it's not that he was a product person. He got it. But what he was saying is that they offered, Rexall, Miss Marie, was a brick and mortar store for a while. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They went into network marketing and they've done very well there. And they had a wonderful product. That was when the early baby boomers were getting into their 50s and cholesterol was a real issue. And at that time, there were some products on the market that were addressing that, but not really safe or not proven products. Rexall had one that had been around for a while. So what he did is he rode the wave of that product growth, which also the company was experiencing tremendous growth because what they were doing. And what do we tell you? High quality prospects. What did he do? He focused in on people who were what? In their 50s, in their late 40s, and their 50s. He also knew that if some people said, hey, I want to be a customer instead, I don't want to, this business building thing's not for me. They wanted because there wasn't many out there, they wanted the product to keep their cholesterol down. Because their doctor told them, not because Randy told them. Their doctor said, you've got to get your cholesterol. Well, guess what was right behind it with the Rexall? Weight loss. Because if you're physically active and if you lose weight, your cholesterol numbers normally come into line. So he rode the wave of that. They had a product. What do we tell you? Have a product that works. That's what? That's safe, right? That people want. So that's what he did. So there's a story proving exactly what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's exciting about this industry is the opportunity that's there, the potential for growth that you're just not going to find anywhere else, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there are some little niches out there where you could go and become an expert and make a lot of money. But for the average person, I think the network marketing industry is the best wealth building opportunity out there.
There's no doubt.
Especially if you know how to do it right.
Yeah, there it is. And if you go to our main page, you'll have 3 products there, free products that Miss Marie disagrees with that you will be able to.
I don't disagree with the products. I disagree with the price point.
Well, maybe we can put a 99 cents or $1.99. How's that? Maybe we could talk about that. Yeah. But, there was in that Randy Shoulder example, let me just say this, guys. There's a number of examples there. Number one, we always talk about the timing of the company. And you guys might, if you've listened to our past episodes, well, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. What's really important? So they're just pushing that, because they got to have a show. Well, there's a living example of somebody that came in, that knew nothing about network marketing, came in, and because of his intelligence and because he was paying attention, he realized that the opportunity was gone with Nu Skin. Okay, Nu Skin's still a great company. You can create a wonderful income, maybe $25,000, $50,000 a year, maybe more. Okay, there's still small chances of someone creating wealth in those companies, but most of the older companies, the wealth capability is gone. But if you want to study income, boy, that's a place to go. Great company, great products. I have nothing bad to say about them. We're talking about people that want that lifestyle, that income. And they said, well, if I'm going to put in the time and effort, I want the greatest return I can get. And he realized the timing. And what do we talk about? Timing is everything. We have the product. Timing is everything. Do I have it here? Let's see here. I don't know if I do or not.
You're not going to give that one away for free too, are you?
Well, I'm getting railed on today, guys.
I'll start calling you Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus. There we go. No, I don't have timing is everything on here. Okay, but here's the thing. You guys have to realize that Randy understood, and he left, And so what happened to Nathan Ricks? His business took a hit. He had somebody who was making $10,000 a month, meaning that he was, for the company, he was probably generating what, 15, 17,000 in volume for the company to get, 10,000, to get a check for 10,000. Because, sometimes the points assigned to a product is a little bit less than the cost of the product. Okay. But the point is, the company and Nathan Ricks took a hit from somebody that had created $10,000 a month. Okay. So what do we talk about all the time? If your downline people, your sharp people are not making money, they're making pennies on the dollar, and they're spending their valuable time, and they realize that they're limited, they're gone. That's what Randy Schroeder's story just told you and showed you. Okay, that's what we talk about all the time. And what's the other thing? We tell you the timing of the company. Catch a phase 1 company in its earliest phase as possible. Yes, it's a risk. Yes, you're taking a chance. But guess what? The greatest returns come with those that take the greatest risk. Okay, so the bottom line is he caught the new skin at the wrong time. Okay, it was coming in. It was closing down on the phase 1 growth curve. Okay, and going to early phase 2, which is basically it goes from going up and then starts to level off. And it still has growth, but it's more of a horizontal, steady growth than it is that crazy vertical exponential growth. Okay, so that's what he realized. He said, I'm out of here. Why? Because he had different goals. He had different aspirations, different dreams. He had different needs. He didn't care what Nathan Ricks had to say. It was his life, his business. He needed to move on. And he did. And he found great success at Rexall, as I told you, and he has taken off from there. And now, the last time I was around in Miss Marie, he was a hard gun where new companies came and got him because he had a long track record of getting into a company, and I mean aggressively going after the opportunity because he understood speed and urgency. He understood that I've got to do the work in the beginning. I've got to put it together. The Richard Call syndrome, if we want to use that. Get in there, work your ass off, and the rewards will come in, a year later. And that's what you do.
Well, and that's what we talk about all the time, right? You can take all of the information we're providing to you, even all this wonderful free stuff we're providing to you. You can absorb it, you can learn it, but unless you're actually going to take action and start doing it, you're not going to get anywhere. So, Rob, what would you like to say to wrap up our Freelance Friday here? Because I don't want to run too long. People are getting ready for the weekend. Yeah. I think we've crammed a whole lot of content into this one for a Freelance Friday too. This is like crazy.
Unplanned. We improv.
Yep.
The only thing I would say as we close is that, guys, I'm always going to harp on the fact that we tell you the truth. We stick with the basics, and we want you to be successful. And we bring so much to the table that at me being a one-man team, a one-armed one-man team, I'm spending an absorbent amount of time updating some of the documents and updating the site for your benefit, not for ours. We're trying to bring as much to the table as we possibly can. And it can be a daunting task, an overwhelming task for her and I. So the bottom line is that if you realize that we're here to help you out, if you go back and listen to all of our episodes, you'll see that we're telling the same consistent story all the way across that. And we're addressing the basics of the industry. I mean, that they're self-evident. That's the reason why we don't have anybody tooting our horn. We don't ask for testimonials. We don't hire anybody. We don't go to Fiverr and get those fake things. We don't, as you know, we don't hype our products. I think this is the most we've ever talked about our products. This is with the price point. So I would encourage you guys to go and get them free while they're free.
Well, and here's the thing. We are always encouraging you to take action. Here's the action you need to take today. Is you want to go to our website, TheMLM-solution.net. That's TheMLM-solution.net. We've got 3 high-value quality products out there for you. You can download them absolutely free. You'll get the 5 simple steps. You'll get the 0 to Network Marketing Hero. And the best one of all, my opinion, the 4 critical mistakes that you're going to want to avoid. So go grab all of those while you can, absolutely free, TheMLMsolution.net. And while you're online, feel free to visit us on any of our social media platforms. You can always search for us using hashtag TheMLMsolution. That's hashtag TheMLMsolution. And like, comment, share. Let us know you're out there. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you're finding of value. If you have any questions, we always respond to those as quickly as we can. And some of the comments and questions we get lead to some of the topics we talk about. Monday through Friday mornings, we're here 11 a.m. Eastern time live. We love spending this time with you and providing the information that we can. So go check that stuff out.
Yeah, and on top of that, and when you download those 3 free things at this moment, you get a video, audio, and an ebook, all 3. The audio and video expand on the book. We do not write big books for a reason. We want them to be a quick, easy read, but yet informative. And we use the video and audio to expand upon what the book has talked about. So do not, if you download them, please read and watch the video at the least. You can listen, but the visual part of the video is important in most cases. That's the reason why I spend the time making the videos. It's because the content that the videos bring visually reinforces what you're reading. So just wanted to make that point before we leave. And one last thing, Miss Marie, we currently have just on SoundCloud 7,700 plays recently. So that's a good thing. That just shows the activity, the thirst for knowledge that people have in regards to the content, which is very flattering, very flattering. So all across the world, right, Miss Marie?
Yep, absolutely.
So there you go. Thirst for knowledge. All right, guys, y'all have a great day, great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you Monday, 11 a.m. Miss Marie, do we have a topic as we close?
Yep, Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be talking about They Move, You Move. If you're wondering what that is, join us Monday morning and you'll find out.
That's right. Talk to y'all later. You guys have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.